quickly. Back at the Convention Center, Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbot, and Wildwood Catholic. Wildwood will wear the home whites trimmed in maroon. Their starters in the game. In the backcourt, it is two seniors, Francis Christian and Mark Jones. Anthony Madel plays a swing position. He's another senior. And then down low, Rich Ramagosa, a senior, and junior Jose Valentin. For Wildwood Catholic, we told you Kevin McWade is out. Wildwood Catholic wearing the away blues trimmed in white and black. In the backcourt, it's going to be George Cook and Tyler Norris. Norris, a sophomore, Cook, a junior. Down low, Jordan Robertson, Clinton Freeman, and Eddie McWade. They are all 6'4" juniors. Rob Johnson, Myron Hendrick, Ron Bakunowitz are the officials. Wildwood Catholic, of course, coached by Dave Duis. Wildwood by Scott McCracken. Ball is in the air. Tip is controlled by Wildwood Catholic, which is moving from left to right across your computer screen. Here's Cook using a ball screen from referee Rob Johnson. Backs it away.
Very heady play.
Goes to Tyler Norris. Norris, a couple of dribbles. Goes to Freeman. Freeman picked up right Ramagosa. Freeman into the lane. Dips in. Shot up is blocked. And the rebound's brought down by Francis Christian. Christian wants to run. Now backs it away. Flips it in the corner. Wild pass. Valentin couldn't control it. Now Wildwood Catholic has it. So two not-so-good possessions for each team to start the game here. Here's Cook. Lost the dribble. Gets it over to Norris. Picked up by Madel. Madel nearly took it out of his hands. Norris comes up with the loose ball. Gets it to McWade. McWade picked up by Valentin. McWade right around him to the basket. Missed the layup. Rebound comes out to Cook, who goes to McWade. Shot up off the glass. No good. Follows it up and in.
And Eddie McWade showing how strong he is inside. Wildwood's going to have to keep him off the glass.
Christian on the run. Lost the dribble. Goes to Valentin. Valentin flips to Ramagosa. Foul line jumper off the iron. No good. Madel among a bunch of Wildwood Catholic players, and that's inexcusable there. There were 4 Wildwood Catholic players there, and Madel did a nice job slipping in, getting the offensive rebound, Buddy, and he was fouled.
Yeah, and that time Eddie McWade was guilty of reaching in. McWade picks up his first, team's first. And you're right, a good heady play by the senior, Anthony Madel, able to come up with that loose offensive rebound, giving Wildwood another offensive possession.
Madel for 3, that's off the iron, no good. Right off the inbound.
6:41 to go here in the opening quarter. Wildwood Catholic on top, 2-0.
By the way, Buddy, one thing we failed to mention at the top, Francis Christian is 17 points away from 1,000 for his career. Here's Cook working against Mark Jones. Cook goes around Jones. Gets to the right block. Jumper. Got it.
And that's going to be a tough
Wildwood Catholic.
That's going to be a tough matchup for Wildwood.
Madel running, and he is fouled. And he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
That foul is going to be on number 32, Clinton Freeman. The junior picks up his first, team second. It's going to send Madel to the line shooting 2. George Cook on 2 different occasions was just able to dribble right around Mark Jones. Jones guilty, Brian. He's getting away with a lot of reaching, and eventually that's going to get called. He's got to move his feet, not his hands.
Madel knocks down both foul shots. 4-2, Wildwood Catholic on top. Cook having some trouble. Has to use an outlet man in Norris, who did a nice job coming back to the basketball. Here's Cook working against Jones. Cook holding in front of the Wildwood bench. Still holding. Offensive foul. Nice job there by Jones, buddy.
And that's what Jones needs to do. That time he moved his feet, was able to slide correctly and not hold and grab. And he draws that offensive foul on George Cook. That's the first personal on Cook. 3rd team foul against Wildwood Catholic. 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and another Wildwood Catholic foul.
Well, you know what? The funny thing is, buddy, Scott McCracken, Wildwood's coach, and Wildwood Catholic is exhibiting a lot of pressure. Wes Hill's checking into the game for Jose Valentin. Scott McCracken said before the season, He loves it when people pressure his team because Francis Christian is so strong and good with the ball that he beats pressure often by himself. Christian, a jumper, no good, followed up by Ramagosa, no good, gets another rebound, no good, and McWade clears the board for Catholic. Here's Cook trying to run. Cook goes to Norris. Back to Cook again, top of the lane, and he is fouled by Hills.
And as you said, that personal foul on number 31, Wes Hills, just checked into the game. Hills picks up his first, team's first. 5:44 to go here in the opening quarter. Wildwood Catholic on top, 4-2.
Free throw by Cook is good. Was actually the first team foul on Wildwood, as Buddy said. Wildwood Catholic has already committed 4. And, without McWade, Wildwood Catholic isn't all that deep to begin with. So foul trouble will be something to watch tonight. Here comes Jones for a Wildwood. Bounces to Christian in front of the Catholic bench. Dribble drive, shot up, no good. Wild shot there by Christian.
Wildwood Catholic did a good job that time and helped defense, forcing Christian to take an awkward shot.
Here's Norris with it on the wing against Madel. Back out to Eddie McWade. Swung over to Cook. Picked up by Jones. Cook, head and shoulders fake. Baseline. Passes it across, and I believe his pass bounced on the end line. That's a turnover.
At that time, Cook left his feet, driving the right baseline. Did not know where he was going to go with the ball. Tried to throw across the court along the baseline to Jordan Robertson, and as you called, he bounced it out of bounds. That's a turnover against the Crusaders.
Jones to Ramagosa, out to Hills. Hills a dribble drive. Now he fires up a wild three-pointer, no good. That's not Wes Hills' forte.
Yeah, he might have got away with an offensive foul there as he used his left forearm to push off the defender.
Here's Robertson against Christian. Goes over to Cook. Cook looking. Flips it out to Freeman. Freeman goes to McWade. McWade spins against Ramagosa and is bumped and fouled.
And that foul's going to be on number 23, Francis Christian. His first, team's second. Eddie McWade doing a good job playing strong with the basketball.
Robertson fakes a three. Now a 17-footer is short. Christian now running for Wildwood. Gets it across the Hills. Hills to the basket. No good. Missed everything almost. And then he fouls Keenan Osborne, and now Wes Hills has 2 fouls, and now the foul trouble piling up on Wildwood, and that causes Warrior coach Scott McCracken to take off his suit jacket. Now he wants a timeout. Timeout on the floor, 6-2, Wildwood Catholic on top. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast at Cape May County Sports Center. Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbot, and 6-2 Wildwood Catholic leads. Wildwood is actually looking for its first field goal in the game. They're 0 for 8 from the floor.
That last foul, as you said, was on Wes Hills, his second. Wildwood's third team foul.
Wildwood showed a zone press there. Catholic beats it rather easily. And now it's Cook resetting the Wildwood Catholic offense. Working against Jones. Takes the ball to the wing. Trying to use a ball screen from Keenan Osborne. Lost his dribble. Flipped it up to McWade at the top of the key. McWade, an 18-foot jumper, no good. Long rebound comes down to Ramagosa. Ramagosa hands off to Christian. Good cross-court look to Madel, and he traveled.
Yes, he did. Anthony Madel caught that. He wanted to pull the trigger right away. The defense kind of ran at him. Madel tried to use a ball fake, but before he put the ball down on the floor with his left hand, he did shuffle his feet.
Here's Cook. Lobs it ahead to Robertson. 2-on-1 down low. Ramagosa did a nice job of stopping that. Now it's McWade trying to bull his way into the lane. Up and under, layup, no good. Rebound taken by Valentin. Valentin looking to run for Wildwood. Flips it off. Christian for 3. That's an air ball. Saved in nicely by Madel. He was the only player who kept playing on that. Everyone else was watching it go out of bounds. Wildwood will get another possession here on the hustle play by Anthony Madel.
And as you said, Madel gives his team another possession offensively with his hustle.
Christian, bad pass into the post. It's stolen away by Wildwood Catholic. Cook goes to Norris. Norris lobs in the post. Good play by Ramagosa, fronting McWade and forcing the steal. Christian in the open floor. Christian down the lane. Kicks across too high for Valentin and out of bounds. And Wildwood's transition offense is a glorified hot mess right now.
Yeah, and again, that time, just not a good decision. Valentin was moving along that left baseline, unable to control that pass. He needed to, before he started to move towards the basket, he needed to catch the ball and come down with it.
Wildwood Catholic with the ball, leading 6-2, 2.5 to go first quarter. Robertson at the top of the key, swings it over to Tyler Norris, left side in front of the Wildwood bench. Now it's Keenan Osborne, goes right side to Robertson. Jordan Robertson guarded by Francis Christian. Ball on the floor, good help by Ramagosa. Now Robertson into the top of the lane, and he traveled.
2:11 to go here in the first quarter. Wildwood Catholic on top, 6-2.
Kevin Holton checks in for Wildwood. Replaces Ramagosa. Here's Mike Veltri with it. Bounces over to Jones. Jones takes the ball down the left side and is called for carrying it.
And again, another turnover. And sometimes you can give the first quarter to these turnovers both ways on both teams to playing on this large floor and a much bigger venue than these teams are used to playing in.
Cook takes it right side, backs away, goes to Robertson behind a double screen, takes the ball to the wing, jumper, got it.
Good strong move that time. Jordan Robertson with a ball fake to the center of the floor, dribbles left, pulls up, knocks down the jump shot. 8-2, Wildwood Catholic, 1:30 to go.
Jones with it. And tipped out of bounds nicely by Norris. Ramagosa and Christian will check back in.
And that time, a good job defensively by Tyler Norris. Doing a good job moving his feet. Instead of going north to south, Mark Jones guilty of going east to west, meaning sideways with the ball.
Christian goes to Holton. Holton back to Christian, right side. Goes around a man. Great pass in the post to Ramagosa. Short bank shot's no good. Christian jarred the rebound loose. Gets a return pass. Fires a three, and it's good. All after getting poked in the eye.
And Francis Christian knocking down a big three ball for his first points here tonight.
8-5. Cook right to the basket, no help side in play there, and he gets the layup.
And right now, Wildwood has nobody that can defend George Cook from out top, and he just blew by everybody. And as you said, no help side, he took it right to the hole.
Christian along two, that's short. Rebound McWade. 38 seconds to go in the period. It's 10-5 Wildwood Catholic.
Coach Dave Duis calling for one shot. 25 seconds to go first quarter. 10-5, Crusaders on top. Wildwood Catholic spreads the floor.
Osborne goes to Norris. Norris over to McWade. 13 seconds to go. McWade top of the key. Trying to work on Ramagosa. Lost the dribble, goes to Cook. Cook, right elbow jumper. Got it.
Shot, nice. Nice dribble penetration that
and
time.
That'll do it for the quarter. 12-5. Wildwood Catholic on top. And we'll be back after this on 98.7 The Coast and CapeMayCountySports.com. Wildwood and Wildwood Catholic capping off a showcase day. The Crest Savings Bank battle at the boards here at the Convention Center. And a very good first quarter for Wildwood Catholic. They lead at 12-5. They hold Wildwood to only one field goal in that period. Wildwood shot 1 for 12 from the floor. Wildwood Catholic was 5 for 11.
And Brian, I touched on it a couple of times during that first quarter. Wildwood just, right now, they do not have an answer for George Cook. Cook has done a very good job with the basketball, able to get good dribble penetration, creating his own shot. And that time, as we saw the quarter winding down, he was able to get inside that right elbow, pull up wide open after he took his man off the dribble and knock down the jump shot.
Wildwood with the ball to start the Second quarter, they trail 12-5. Here's Christian just inside the timeline. Goes right side to Madel. Gets a return pass, uses the ball screen from Hills. Gets into the top of the lane. Great pass down low to Hills. Missed the layup, got his own rebound, and is fouled. Hills really needed to finish that first one, buddy.
Yes, and that time Francis Christian drawing the double team as he penetrated inside the foul line, found Wesley Hills open on the right block. But as you called, he was unable to finish the first one. He was fortunate Keenan Osborne not able to come up with the defensive rebound. Went right back into Wesley Hills' hands. He draws the foul. That's the first personal foul on Keenan Osborne, 5th team foul against Wildwood Catholic here in the first half.
Hills makes 1 of 2. It's now 12-6, Wildwood Catholic on top. Crusaders to inbound, and here's George Cook. He'll trot it up, and is picked up right across the timeline by Francis Christian. Bounces right side to Norris. Norris holding against Madel, uses Osborne's ball screen. Now throws in the corner to Osborne, flip back out to McWade. McWade holding against Ramagosa. Goes to Robertson, picked up by Hills. Robertson goes around the man, stops, kicks out to Norris. Norris goes to McWade. McWade, couple crossover dribbles. Spins around Ramagosa, gets to the rim, blocked by Hills, but a foul, and that's going to be Hills' 3rd foul if they call it on him. And no, actually, well, I don't know who they called it on. The official signaled 3-4. There is no 34 on the floor, and that's why you hear the buzzer in the background. And now they change it, and they give it to Hills, and that's his 3rd foul. That looked like a clean block from here, buddy.
Yeah, it did look like a clean
block. But I actually
thought
there was some contact before the shot, and that's what I thought maybe was being called.
Well, it looked like there was some body.
Right.
You're right.
Not on Hills, I think, from a different player. So Hills has to step out.
McWade does that big spin dribble in traffic as well as anybody in the Cape Atlantic League, and he's able to draw that contact. And as you said, Hills picks up his 3rd, team's 4th. And, Brian, there's something, Wesley Hills is normally a starter. He doesn't start, so he's not really in the flow. He comes into this game off the bench, and it's like bang, bang, bang. He's got 3 fouls. Now he's out of the game.
Wildwood with the ball. They're trying to free Francis Christian for a shot. Catholic doing a good job tracking him down. He fires a 3 and knocks it down from 25 feet. I think Catholic will allow him to shoot that all night.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was pretty good defense.
It was good defense, but again, Francis Christian showing what a prolific offensive player he is. He's able to knock it down.
14-9. Garrett Moretti in the game, fires a 3. That's short. Good box out by Ramagosa. Christian with it. Comes up across midcourt, flips it across to Madel. Center of the floor to Jones. Back to Madel. Madel for 3. Bang. And here comes Wildwood. Back-to-back 3s. They've cut an 8-point deficit to 2.
And just like that, and again, good dribble penetration. Nice kick out to Madel. Madel had his feet set from the right side, and he pulls his team within 2.
Cook to Freeman. Freeman short on the shot, and the rebound goes out of bounds.
And that time, Richie Ramagosa did a real good job boxing out Clinton Freeman. He actually drove him right to the Warrior bench, allowing that long rebound to come down, hit the floor, and bounce out of bounds, and the Warriors get possession.
So Wildwood could tie the game. That would be the first time since it was 0-0. Christian, a foul line jumper. That's off long. No good. Wildwood Catholic has it. Here comes Cook across the timeline. Takes it right side. Holding against Jones. Stops, goes to Freeman. Left elbow. Drives to the basket. The layup is good.
That time Clinton Freeman put the ball and a Warrior defender in the basket. He's a big, strong kid. Went hard to the hoop from the left side. Puts his team back up 4, 16-12.
Jones to the basket and lost it out of bounds.
And again, a good defensive play that time by the junior, Eddie McWade. He took away any angle Jones had. Jones leaving his feet, had nowhere to go with it. Lost the ball out of bounds. Another Warrior turnover.
Wildwood showing possibility of a run and jump, but they fall back. Here's McWade, goes to Cook. Cook over to Robertson. Robertson picked up by Christian. Robertson using McWade's screen, takes the ball to the corner. Lost his dribble in a bad spot. Now it's Freeman, top of the key, enters into the post. Good play by Christian, fronting there and tipped it away.
And again, Wildwood Catholic likes to do that high-low. Whether it's McWade down low to Freeman or Freeman down low to McWade, the two big guys do a good job of looking for each other. But as you said, Francis Christian did a good job and helped defense.
Freeman was unguarded there and missed the shot. Long rebound. Rich Ramagosa went diving for it to try to save it. I don't know why, because no Wildwood player had touched it.
Yeah, that was a rather interesting sequence of events. One, Freeman shoots an air ball from 6 feet. And as you said, the ball was going to go out of bounds off Wildwood Catholic. Ramagosa, you can't fault him for hustling, but diving for it, he touches the ball as he is diving out of bounds. Therefore, the Crusaders will retain possession to the side of their basket on the right side. 4:40 to go here in the first half. 16-12, Wildwood Catholic on top.
Robertson curling off the inbound, couldn't pull the trigger. Got it to McWade. McWade driving to the basket, no good. Might have been partially blocked. Freeman had the rebound and had it knocked out of his hands and out of bounds.
Freeman doing a good job. That time Wildwood not keeping him off the glass. And he's able to get that offensive rebound.
Cook the inbound, got it to Freeman, off the rim, no good. Rebound taken by Valentin. He brings it up across midcourt. Valentin, dribble drive, goes to Madel. Madel picked up by Moretti. Got it to Christian, in the post nicely to Khalil Giddings, no good. And the rebound is brought down by Wildwood Catholic. 16-12, Crusaders lead, exactly 4 minutes to go in the first half. Robertson, 35 feet from the basket, picked up by Christian. They got it to Freeman. Freeman over to Robertson. Robertson holds, stripped, gathers the ball, goes to Moretti. Now it's Cook. Cook goes around Jones, foul line jumper, got it.
And again, George Cook, good dribble penetration, gets into the lane just inside the foul line. That little pull-up jump shot, nothing but the bottom of the net. 18-12, Wildwood Catholic on top, 3:23 to go.
Wildwood Catholic knocks it out of bounds. They were trying to get it to Christian. Wildwood will have it.
Francis Christian with 6 points, 11 away from that 1,000-point plateau.
Mike Veltri replaces Anthony Madel. Here's Veltri. Goes to Giddings. Giddings holding to Valentin. Valentin around the man, top of the lane. Kicks it across. Jones, wild jumper, no good. Freeman the rebound for Wildwood Catholic. Here comes Cook. Cross midcourt. Stops. Backs away to break a 5-second count. Into the top of the lane. Kicks. Moretti for three. Bang!
And again, a good job, George Cook.
Another timeout by Wildwood.
Good dribble penetration again, Brian, because nobody can defend Cook with the ball. He gets in, creates the double team, kicks out to Moretti, has his feet set, knocks down the 3-ball.
Well, you know what, buddy? You know, there was a lot of buzz about this Wildwood team from some people who really follow the club and you know, about how they played in their first 2 games. You know, but, you know, as much as the Wildwood people hate to hear this, the Cape Atlantic League's a step up from the Tri-County Conference. That's number 1. And number 2, in my opinion, there's 2 things that I believe prevent Wildwood from really becoming an elite team. And number 1 is they don't defend well in the half court. They just don't. And number 2, they do not value the ball enough on offense. They take too many ill-advised shots, too many loose, unforced turnovers. There's a lot of talent on the floor, but they just need to clean up a lot of that stuff and tighten it up. And that's why they're losing 21-12 here with 2:46 to go in the second quarter.
And, you know, you bring up a good point. And what you have, there's a lot of athleticism on the floor. but offensively skilled players of the 5 out there, there's only 2. Michael Veltri can shoot the jump shot, and Francis Christian can do whatever he needs to do with the ball. After that, you have athletes playing basketball.
Right.
Who are not making good decisions.
Here's Christian left side, baseline drive, gets to the rim, no good. And the rebound's knocked out of bounds by Wildwood Catholic.
And right now, Wildwood will inbound, 2:30 to go in the first half.
Christian tried to throw it off of Cook. And now we're going to have a jump ball possession to Wildwood Catholic.
And again, that's something you'd see more in a schoolyard than you would in a high school basketball game. That play's not really going to be very effective. Therefore, it translates into a jump ball, which will be marked down because it's the Crusader possession as a Wildwood turnover.
McWade down low to Freeman. Freeman is fouled by Valentin.
And Jose Valentin, number 2 for the Warriors, picks up his first, team's 5th, after having 7 personal fouls called between the 2 teams in the first quarter, Brian. The whistles have gone relatively silent here, each team with 5 team fouls,
They get it into Freeman, reverse layup, blocked by Holton from behind. That was a nice defensive play there.
Yes, it was. Holton did a very good job.
Christian, he's bumped and fouled by Tyler Norris. That'll be the 6th team foul on Wildwood Catholic. It's 21-12. The Crusaders on top.
Kevin Holton down low on Freeman did a good job of moving his feet, getting around Freeman, and not creating any contact, going up and getting a good block on that shot. 2:10 to go, 21-12. Wildwood Catholic on top, first half.
Christian with the ball between the 2 circles. Flips it over to Ramagosa into the paint, floater, no good. Long rebound, tipped nicely by Cook to himself. Comes across midcourt, takes the ball to the block, fall away jumper, got it.
And right now, George Cook is just doing an absolutely outstanding job getting to the basket.
Catholic, its largest lead of the game, and they've scored 9 straight points. Christian kicks Ramagosa for 3. That's an air ball. And that's a point right there, buddy, when I'm talking about just not valuing possession. Rich Ramagosa should not be shooting threes. Here's Catholic with the ball. An 11-point lead, 1:20 to go in the second period. Goes to McWade. McWade over to Cook in front of the Wildwood bench. Out to Freeman. Freeman for 3, and he can actually shoot that. No good, though. Here's Christian. Cross midcourt running. Christian down the lane. He is fouled. And Eddie McWade's a little slow getting up, and he looks like he's okay.
And they're going to call that foul, as you just said, on Eddie McWade, number 41 for the Crusaders. That's going to be his 2nd, team's 7th. It's going to send Francis Christian to the line, to shooting 2. 1:06 to go, 23-12. Wildwood Catholic on top. The difference in this first half has been number 5 for the Crusaders, George Cook.
Cook has 12 points. He is 5 for 5 from the floor and 2 for 2 from the line. And Wildwood Catholic is shooting it pretty well at 9 for 22. Wildwood is 3 for 21. Christian made the first free throw. And his second one's also good. He's got 8 points. He's 9 away from 1,000 for his career. Cook to inbound. Gets it into Moretti. Now it's Cook again. This time picked up by Madel. Cook goes right around him, gets into the lane, scoop shot, no good. Rebound, Keenan Osborne, and his putback is good.
And again, Brian, even though George Cook missed, that putback opportunity was created by him.
Here's Christian, spinning, top of the lane, kicks out. That pass was tipped and out of bounds.
42.7 seconds to play in the second quarter. Wildwood Catholic up 11, 25-14.
Christian for 3, that's short. Another ill-advised shot.
Yeah, that time he had defense. He had the defense was draped all over him.
And now we have a stoppage as the trail official, Myron Hendrick, noticed that George Cook's sneaker was untied.
That's how quick George Cook has been throughout this first half. He's running right out of his shoes.
Wildwood Catholic may hold for one. They have the possession arrow in their favor, leading by 11 with 28 seconds to go in the first half. Robertson to Moretti. Moretti over to Cook. And now it's Osborne, right side to Moretti. Bounces across to Norris. Now it's Osborne. 10 seconds to go. They go to Cook. Cook will try to break down a man. Gets to the right elbow. Jumper off the iron. No good. Holton lost the rebound. Robertson fall away. No good at the buzzer. The end of one half. It is Wildwood Catholic 25 and Wildwood 14. We'll be back after this on 98.7 The Coast and CapeMayCountySports.com. 25-14 in the Andrew Alamino Memorial Boys Island Championship game. And we'll get into some of the stats and analysis of the first half momentarily. But joining us now at the half in the very special guest is Olivia Rulon, who had a big game earlier today as Wildwood Catholic beat Wildwood in the Andrew Alamino Girls Island Championship game. Olivia had 18 points and 11 rebounds, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
There was a point in the game where Wildwood got it back to 6. I think it was 40-34 after you guys had a real big lead, and then you had a couple baskets in a row and a free throw to kind of extend that. How important was it for you guys to just settle down there and get a couple baskets and kind of hold them off?
I think that was the most important thing because after a while, after the halftime, it just went to our heads and we thought that we could just not play our hardest, but we realized that we really did have to.
Olivia, talk a little bit about your team has a very good balance, and what I was mentioning to Brian as we're watching your game here tonight is the way you guys share the basketball and you make the extra pass to each other to find somebody that might have a better shot, even though you might have a good shot. Mm-hmm. How important is the chemistry that you guys are showing here in the early going?
I think that's honestly the most important thing. We just bond together so much like a team, and we realize that even though we might want the shot, if there's a better shot, to dish it off and give it to our teammates, because either way, it all adds up in the end.
What's this game mean to you? I mean, obviously, when you have Wildwood and Wildwood Catholic draws its players from all over the county, but you're a Wildwoods kid because you went to Margaret Mace. Mm-hmm. And, you had Jess Freeman was a teammate, Jillian Freeman was a teammate. What's that mean to you because you're an island kid playing at Wildwood Catholic?
I just think it was a rivalry thing, especially because I was playing with my former teammates. That's what was really important in the game, just not letting it get to my head or any of our teammates' heads.
What do you see Wildwood Catholic girls basketball has not been, tremendous over the last few years, but you guys only have one senior. You seem to be playing pretty good basketball here. You played a good team at Sacred Heart, tough. You have a couple wins now. Do you see this turning the corner here?
I do, because I really think that we're beginning to actually play as a team now, and we're realizing, like I said earlier, that even though if we might want to score, if we want to take the shot, we need to dish it off to our teammates, and we're just really bonding together as a team in the long run.
What are some of your goals that you see this team achieving as the season progresses?
I'm going to have to say probably just after the Sacred Heart game, I think that's probably one of our biggest goals as a team because of how close it was. It was I think 4 points at halftime. We were that close. So I really think that's going to be one of the biggest goals, to try to come back like that again once the next time we play them.
All right, Olivia Rulon, 18 points, 11 rebounds as Wildwood Catholic wins the Alamino Girls Championship game today, 56-40. Congratulations and thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job. Thank you, Olivia.
Okay, and now at the boys' game here at the half, it is Wildwood Catholic leading Wildwood 25-14. And the things that jump out at you off the stat sheet, buddy, is Wildwood shooting 3 for 22 from the floor. Wildwood Catholic shooting 10 for 26, which isn't tremendous, but much better than Wildwood. And George Cook, 5 for 7, and leading all scorers with 12 points here at the half.
Well, you know, Brian, too, as you said, George Cook, 5 for 7, and one of his misses actually turned into 2 points.
Yes.
So he's responsible for 12 points, not counting the fact that he has 2 assists. So he's actually contributed 16 of the 25 Wildwood Catholic points. The one miss that he had here at the end of the half, Keenan Osborne was in perfect offensive rebounding position on the left side, and as that help defense left Keenan, he was able to gather the rebound, put it back up off the glass, and score. Right now, that's what my worry would be if I'm the Wildwood coaching staff, is I need to, without question, George Cook has been the answer, and they need to find an answer to negate George Cook.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I mean, you know, Wildwood's got to stop Cook's penetration, number one. And number two, they've got to find a way to get better shots on offense. I mean, you know, let's put it this way. Wildwood in the first half was 0 for 13 inside the arc. So they've made 3 shots. All 3 of them are from beyond the arc. And 2 of those shots from beyond the arc were deep, and 1 was very contested. So, I mean, Wildwood just has to figure out a way to get some shots on offense.
Yeah, and, you know, when you're, as you said, you're looking at that stat sheet, the 2 of the seniors, Christian and Ramagosa, they're a combined 2 for 15. Ramagosa is 0 for 6. Francis Christian is an uncharacteristic 2 for 9. So obviously they need Francis Christian to get on track here in the second half. And again, you know, now he's 9 points away from that 1,000-point plateau. And, you know, subconsciously that always plays on a player's mind, especially when you're talking about a game here at the Convention Center and a rivalry game. 1, there's pressure there right off the bat. And then 2, you put in the fact that he would like to get that 1,000 points here tonight. That just adds to that.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the second half right after this. 25-14, Wildwood Catholic on top of Wildwood. 98.7 The Coast and CapeMay-County-Sports.com. The Crusaders leading Wildwood here in the Andrew Alamino Memorial Boys Island Championship game. And Wildwood will have the ball to start the second half.
And again, right now, the Warriors coming out, and as Brian just said, with the basketball, and they want to get off to a good start here in the second half, scoring just 14 points in that first 16 minutes of basketball. The Warriors trailing 25-14. Wildwood Catholic just basically wants to do the same things they were doing in the first 16 minutes. They want to continue here in the second half.
Wildwood with the ball, trailing by 11, 7:50 to go. Jones into the paint, kicks to Christian. That's a good pass to Madel for 3, but that's an air ball.
And again, Eddie McWade did a good job that time getting out on Anthony Madel and forcing Madel to hurry his shot. Madel, a very good three-point shooter. Just not able to get a good look that time.
Wildwood showing some pressure. Catholic beats it rather easily. Robertson on the right side, goes to Cook. Cook holding on the left wing against Jones, and he double dribbled. That's a good call by the official.
And that time, that's what Wildwood needed to do. They came out, turned up the pressure on George Cook. Francis Christian was all over him, forcing George Cook to turn the ball over.
What happened there was Wildwood Catholic was trying to call a timeout, but they had the call on the double dribble before the Crusaders could get it. So here comes Wildwood, trailing by 11, Ramagosa right side. Goes to Christian. Christian double teamed. Goes over to Ramagosa. Baseline drive. Got it down low to Valentin. Fall away jumper. Didn't get the friendly roll. Rebound Clinton Freeman.
Well, that time Valentin, as you called, a fall-away jumper from 4 foot in front of the basket. He needs to shoot the ball going towards the rim so he has an opportunity for an offensive rebound.
Robertson hands off to McWade. McWade goes to the floor to pick up the loose ball. Now it goes to Robertson. Robertson a deep three. Bang! And
again,
Wildwood Catholic has doubled up Wildwood here, 28-14.
Good ball movement that time by the Crusaders.
Christian a baseline jumper.
Tough
Wow,
shot.
did he hit a spot and elevate there, buddy?
Yes, he did. That's a patented Francis Christian move. Good body control. As he comes up and, as you said, hits his spot on the right side and knocks down the jump shot.
Catholic with the ball. Freeman goes around. Ramagosa gets into the paint, no good. Got his own rebound.
Wow.
The putback is good.
Wow, the lane parted like the Red Sea or the Atlantic Ocean, since that's right to our right. And the big ferry went right down the lane. Freeman to the hole.
Jones hands off to Christian. They nearly turned it over there. Christian kicks out. Madel for three. No good, short. Rebound taken by Jones. Had the ball stripped out of his hands. And now we're going to have a foul.
And that's a big foul, Brian. That's
actually a good call there.
Yes, it is.
I thought Jones got down to the floor first, and then McWade kind of jumped on him going for the loose ball.
And that's going to be Eddie McWade's third personal foul with 5:38 to go here in the third quarter. It's going to force Coach Duis to go to his bench.
Christian on the wing. Backs away against Cook. They double him, go in the corner. Now West Hills will fire a three. That's no good. And Madel has his shot off the offensive rebound. Rejected by Clinton Freeman and into the hands of Patrick the Recruiter Flynn. Stationed on the baseline. Watching the game. Here's Christian, turnaround jumper. That's not a good shot. And here comes Robertson for Wildwood Catholic.
Good decision that time by Jordan Robertson.
And now Wildwood Catholic is going to take a 30-second timeout, leading it 30-16 with 5:11 to go third quarter.
And Brian, Jordan Robertson bringing the ball down on the right side, wisely saw a double team coming, knew to turn around and give the basketball up to his point guard, number 5, George Cook. Wildwood Catholic bench, the coaching staff recognizing that their team was a little out of sync there, quickly calls, as you said, that 30-second timeout to settle things down. And you know, Wildwood Catholic, they're going to be inbounding the ball at half court in front of the scores table. Look for them to run a set play. Probably something for Jordan Robertson coming off a screen along that baseline. Robertson, the very talented 6'4" junior swingman, as they just elect to get the ball in.
Cook with it, and Jones fouls him.
And that's going to be the first personal foul on number 4, Mark Jones. His first, team's first here in the second half. Just under 5 minutes to go, third quarter, 4:58 to be exact. Wildwood Catholic with the ball on top, 30-16.
Robertson holding, goes left side to Cook. Cook against Jones. Cook, dribble penetrates, stolen out of his hands by West Hills. Center of the floor is Christian. This is where he's really dangerous. Spinning into the lane, floater, got it. Tough angled shot.
That was, and again, a good move. And again, he got poked in the eye again. And he challenged Eddie McWade driving that left baseline. A good, strong move, Brian. McWade had to give way because he already has 3 personal fouls. He couldn't contend and contest that shot there by Francis Christian on the left side of the basket for fear of picking up that 4th foul with just 4:34 to go here in the third quarter.
Christian's got to come out of the game here. He wanted to stay in, but he's got to come out. Dave Flanders, a sophomore, will check in for Wildwood. Cook with it. Goes to McWade. No one's guarding Freeman in the front court. Wildwood Catholic never saw it, though. And here's McWade up the wing. Pass stolen away by Jones. Jones gets it to Ramagosa. Ramagosa flips it back to Jones as Wildwood's pressure there causes the turnover.
Yeah, Wildwood doing a
in
good
the corner
job.
to Veltri for three. That's off the iron, no good. Rebound kept alive by Jones nicely. Dips in and is fouled. And that's a frustration foul there by Freeman.
Yeah, absolutely. That time, all Clinton Freeman's got to do is go up strong and stay steady, just raise his hand, but he swatted down. And anytime you swat down that like that, you're going to create a foul, and Mark Jones will go to the line shooting two. Freeman picks up his second, team's second here in the second half.
Jones misses the first foul shot. Francis Christian checks back in for Wildwood.
4:08 to go here in the third quarter. Wildwood Catholic on top, 30-18.
Good crowd here at the Convention Center for this Island Championship game. Both free throws were missed. Wildwood nearly tracked down the rebound, but Mike Veltri actually tripped over Clinton Freeman and lost the ball out of bounds. The Wildwood Catholic has it. McWade with it. Lobs it up to Norris. Wow. And Norris wanted to catch and pass all in one motion because Freeman was wide open under the basket.
Yes, he was wide open.
And the ball slipped through his hands and out of bounds.
As you had called earlier, Clinton Freeman was able to leak behind the defense, and then he did it again against this Wildwood pressure.
I certainly don't mean this the wrong way, but I don't know how Wildwood could miss Clinton Freeman on the court. He's the tallest and certainly the most heaviest player out there, and he's been wide open on the last two offensive possessions for Wildwood Catholic, but the Crusaders haven't found him. Here's Wes Hills, an 18-footer. That's good, and that cuts Catholic's lead to 10 at 30-20. Pass stolen away by Christian. Christian kicks out. Big shot here for Flanders. Good for three. And it's back to a 7-point game. Timeout, Wildwood Catholic. 30-23. 3:29 to go, third quarter. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and Cape May County Sports.com. 98.7 The Coast and Cape May County Sports.com. Wildwood was trailing 30-16. They've now scored 7 straight points to cut it to 7 with 3:29 to go in the third quarter.
Well, Brian, the Warriors have done a good job in this full court pressure. They've uncharacteristically bothered Wildwood Catholic, forcing the Crusaders into multiple turnovers, then coming down, making good decisions offensively, and getting themselves some quick buckets. And they're on a 7-0 run.
Robertson, he's in a little bit of trouble. Gets it to Cook. Cook passes ahead, stolen by Christian. Christian across midcourt. Christian, center of the floor, into the top of the lane. Floater, wow, missed it badly. I think he went in the air and wasn't sure how to shoot that, and he just kind of flicked it up there.
He was hoping to draw contact.
Right, and none came. Cook, good cross-court look to break pressure. Got it to Moretti. Moretti steps in, goes back to McWade. McWade into the paint. Oh, that's good defense by Hills, but McWade gets the rebound while falling to his back, kicks to Cook, and his jumper is good.
You talk about court awareness.
And here's Christian bumped and fouled by Robertson.
And, you know, what Coach McCracken there is rightfully questioning the ability for McWade to come down with that. But that was a legitimate shot attempt.
An attempted shot, right.
That was a legitimate shot attempt, not a self-pass. Therefore, he was able to.
People that have never played anywhere but the playground don't understand there's no such thing as a self-pass. Christian under the basket, got too far under the basket, hit the bottom of the backboard with his layup attempt. And now Wildwood Catholic trying to settle in after that big Wildwood run there.
That last foul on Jordan Robertson was his second, team's third.
Here's Cook with it. Inside 2.5 to go, third quarter. Crusaders by 9.
Brian, I'm really surprised the Catholic coaching staff has left McWade in the game with 3 fouls.
Keenan Osborne, little 8-footer, no good. Did a great job diving for the rebound. But then Moretti saved it to the wrong player. Shot up, and that's going to be goaltending. David Flanders will take the layup, and he's kind of laughing. He can't believe Jordan Robertson got up that high.
Yeah, I don't think he realized where Robertson was, but that's the proper call. Flanders able to get up, put the ball on the glass, and the junior, Robertson, goes up and scoops it off for the goaltending call.
Cook passes ahead. Nice job, got it to Robertson. Robertson into the paint. That's a blocking foul. Good call by the official as Valentin stepped in late.
And that foul, as you just said, on number 2, Jose Valentin. That will be his second, team's second here in the third quarter. 1:56 to play in this third quarter. Wildwood Catholic on top, 32-25, inbounding the ball underneath their own basket.
Cook to inbound, goes to Robertson for 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound to Hills. Hills outlets to Valentin. Valentin to the basket. Wow, and they call an offensive foul. And I think the Warrior bench is a little unhappy there. I think they felt that that call might have been slightly anticipated.
And what happened there was Eddie McWade, by not going to the ground, going to the court.
Stolen away by Valentin to the basket. Layup is good. It is a 5-point game. 1:42 to go, third quarter. Back after this, 98-7 the Coast and Cape May County Sports 27. Wildwood Catholic leads Wildwood, 1:42 to go, third quarter. Wildwood Catholic actually led this game 30-16, so Wildwood's on an 11-2 run here. Late stages, third quarter to get back into it, when early in this period, buddy, it looked like we were on the verges of a blowout.
Well, Wildwood Catholic had actually doubled Wildwood. They were up 28-14, then 30-16.
Right.
And you're right, since that point, it's 11-2 run. And the Warriors have turned it up defensively through their full court pressure. Wildwood Catholic keeps making poor decisions and trying to throw long passes. And Wildwood's doing a good job in the back, reading and picking it off, and then making good decisions offensively when they have numbers down the other end.
Cook against the double team. Lobs it center to floor to Moretti. Moretti stops at the top of the key, hands off to Cook. Over to Robertson, and he stepped out of bounds. No, he traveled. Thought he may have stepped out of bounds, but the official calls him for traveling.
1:29 to go, third quarter. Wildwood now with the ball, creating another turnover off their pressure, trailing by 5.
Flanders brings it up for Wildwood. Holding on the wing. Goes over to Jones. Jones lost the dribble, but got it to Christian against Cook.
He might have got away with a walk there as well.
Christian, right side. Flanders for 3. It's an air ball. Hills saved it for Wildwood. Turnaround jumper by Valentin is good. And it's a 3-point game with a minute to go in the third quarter. And that's a bad foul there by Jones. Put both hands all over Jordan Robertson, and that is the easiest foul call an official has to make in a game.
Yes, right in front of the official.
They'll let you get away with one hand, but sometimes, but not 2.
And that is Mark Jones's second personal foul, 4th team foul against the Warriors.
Cook doubled, got it up to Robertson nicely. Now Robertson running a 3-on-2. Got it over to Moretti. Moretti, good decision, backs it away to Robertson. Robertson, backdoor to Moretti, to the basket, tough angled shot,
Wow.
He banked it in.
That was a tough shot. Good, strong drive on the right baseline by Moretti.
Flanders for 3, bang! Christian fouled David Flanders, it's a 2-point game.
And again, Flanders on the left side, feet set, knocks down that 3 ball, a big, big bucket for the Warriors.
Here's Cook, got it across the timeline. Bounces up to Osborne. His pass stolen away by Valentin. Valentin, though, dribbled the ball out of bounds. He had Flanders way up ahead of the pack, wide open, and he tried to take one extra dribble, and he lost it out of bounds.
And that time, that's where Valentin's got to recognize he is not a ball handler. He needs to corral that basketball, give it up, give it to a guard. And, you know, he got a little too anxious there. And as you said, Flanders was wide open, and he would have had the game-tying layup. However, it's a turnover. And they're going to call a foul there on Mike Veltri, grabbing Garrett Moretti as Wildwood Catholic tried to run an exchange to inbound from half court. 5th team foul, first
11
foul
seconds
on Veltri.
to go in the period. Pass stolen away by Valentin. Valentin to the basket, lost the handle. It's going to go out of bounds off of Catholic with 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Valentin lost control of the dribble, and the ball came up and hit Jordan Robertson, trailing from behind, went off of his arm and out of bounds.
Well, again, Brian, there, Jose Valentin, ball handling is not one of his strengths. And as you saw it right there in the open floor.
Wildwood to inbound. Flanders looking, got it to Hills in the post, kicked Veltri for 3. Bang! And Wildwood's got the lead at the buzzer of the third quarter. They come back from 14 down, and they lead it by 1, 35-34. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and CapeMayCountySports.com. Start of the fourth quarter here at the Convention Center. Mike Veltri's 3 at the buzzer of the third quarter gives Wildwood its first lead of the game at 35-34. They closed the third quarter on a 19-4 run after they were trailing 30-16. Wildwood Catholic with the ball. Cook, top of the key, lobs it in the corner to Robertson. Robertson picked up by Christian. Robertson trapped, spins, gets to the rim. What a move by Robertson, but he couldn't finish. Here's Christian running for Wildwood. Christian, he lost the handle, but it's going to go out of bounds off of Wildwood Catholic.
And a good job that time again. Wildwood defending well.
And George Cook slow to get up over there, buddy.
And Francis Christian coming down the center of the floor, drawing help side. And George Cook might have turned his ankle. He looks like he's in considerable pain. Or he's got a cramp in his calf.
Yeah, it looked like he was pointing toward his calf and not his ankle. Let's see what it is.
Wildwood Catholic can ill afford to lose George Cook with Kevin McWade not here.
All right, let's take a break. 35-34, Wildwood on top, 7:35 to go in the game. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast at CapeMayCountySports.com. Yo, just one. All right, back at the Convention Center, George Cook is walking off under his own power, but he looks like he is shaken up considerably as he is really limping toward the Crusader bench. Wildwood has a 1-point lead in the ball, 7:35 to go in the fourth quarter.
And again, the Warriors finishing that fourth quarter on a 19-4 run, outscoring Wildwood Catholic 21-9 in that third quarter to take that 1-point lead.
Valentin, bad pass, and stolen away by Tyler Norris. Valentin nearly steals it back, and he does. It's going to go off of Wildwood Catholic and out of bounds. So Valentin threw it away, and credit his hustle to get it back.
Yeah, that time, again, Jose Valentin put the ball on the floor, turned it over, but he hustled and got it right back, taking advantage of Moretti and Norris.
Christian gets it into Valentin, gets a return pass, fires a 3. That's going to be way short, but it's going to go off of Wildwood Catholic and out of bounds.
Clinton Freeman could not get his hands up quick enough to get that rebound. Therefore, he punched it out of bounds. And again, Wildwood inbounding.
Valentin to Madel. Madel hands off to Christian, center of the floor, now picked up by Robertson. Christian puts it on the floor, goes around Norris, gets in and is bumped and fouled. Like I say, this is before the shot. Good call by the official. Wildwood will have possession underneath.
And that foul is going to be on the sophomore Tyler Norris. He picks up his first, team's fourth. 7:07 to go, fourth quarter.
Christian for three, in and out, rebound, and Anthony Madel's over the back. Good box out by Wildwood Catholic's Garrett Moretti.
A good job that time. That ball was down, then popped out. Actually, a pretty good shot by Francis Christian. Moretti doing a good job boxing out Madel. Madel called for coming over the top. His first, team's sixth.
McWade gets it into Robertson. Now back to Norris. Now McWade. Wildwood Catholic's going to have to play point guard by committee with Cook out of the game. Here is Freeman, who's fouled in the post.
He will go to the line for a 1-and-1. They're going to call that on number 4, Mark Jones. That will be his third, Brian. His third, team's 7th. The trainer is on the Wildwood Catholic bench, working on the right. No, the left.
You had it right the first time.
I was right the left time. Oh, I was left the right time. Working on his left leg.
Freeman ties the game with a free throw. That's the first point of the fourth quarter. We're tied at 35 with 6:52 to go. Second free throw is short. Hills the rebound, but then lost it out of bounds. Hills is claiming he was pushed and fouled from behind, but to no avail.
At that time, Wesley Hills just needs to be stronger with the ball. 35-35, 6:51 to go.
Freeman has it down low, ball's loose, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Wildwood Catholic.
And again, Wildwood doing a good job. Freeman catches the ball in the left block. The Warriors double and triple down, forcing him to turn it over.
Here's Jones for three. That's off the iron, no good. Rebound Hills. He brings it out of the fray, takes it to the corner. Bad pass, but goes right through the hands of Norris. And now Hills gets it back. Foul line jumper is no good. Freeman the rebound, and he's fouled by Jones.
And that foul is going to be on number 4, Mark Jones. Jones picks up his fourth, team's 8th. 6:25 to go in this basketball game here this evening. We are tied at 35-35, and this is after Wildwood Catholic in that third quarter, midway through, opened up a 30-16 lead. Wildwood closed the period on a 19-4 run to take a 35-34 lead at the end of 3.
Here's Freeman for a 1-and-1. Free throw's no good long. The rebound is gathered by Francis Christian, but he stepped on the end line. Wildwood Catholic will have it with an opportunity to take the lead.
And again, a tough break that time for the Warriors, who've got all the momentum going their way right now.
Robertson in the corner, passes across to McWade. McWade spinning into the lane. Floater is short. Looked like some contact in there. No foul. And here's a foul up on the front court as Francis Christian running the other way is bumped by Moretti.
That's probably not a bad foul.
Yes. Yeah, probably took away a layup, and it's Wildwood Catholic still not yet in the penalty, so Wildwood will have to inbound.
Yeah, Francis Christian only had Garrett Moretti to beat, and he would have won around him and went in uncontested. Moretti doing a good job picking up his first, team's 5th. 6:03 to go in the game, 35-35.
Jones to Christian. Christian fakes a three, passes across to Jones, top of the key, now hands back to Christian. Christian doubled, dribbles away from it, goes to Jones. Jones goes around a man, gets into the paint, wild shot, no good. Rebound kept alive, and Valentin comes out of there with it. He fires a three, and now Moretti has the rebound and is fouled by Anthony Madel. And, you know, at some point, buddy, in Wildwood Catholic right now, not shooting free throws great, but this is 3 fouls in a row on Wildwood now on their own missed shots, and then they're walking down the other end and putting Wildwood Catholic on the free throw line.
And Madel picks up his second. Yeah, and that's a good point. And that puts Wildwood Catholic now, Wildwood, that's their 9th team foul. So from this point forward, the Crusaders are not going to be in the 1-and-1 after this trip. They're going to be shooting 2. And that will be another big factor in this game because obviously with it being tied at 35, 5:38 to go.
McWade no good on the free throw.
Wildwood Catholic 1 out of their last 4 now from the line. And that's 2 front ends of 1-on-1s.
Yes. Tie game at 35. There's only been 1 point scored in this quarter so far. 5:25 to go in the game. Valentin goes to Madel. Madel to Hills. Hills down low to Valentin. Spins around a man. Block the block pass to Hills. No good. Got his own rebound. Jump hook. Got it.
And that time Wesley Hills doing a good job. It was a good look that time by Jose Valentin. And Hills stuck with his miss and got the putback. 37-35, under 5 minutes to go in the game. Wildwood on top.
Looking, goes to McWade, looking in the post to Freeman. Can't get it there. Right side. Now we're going to have an illegal screen called down low or a push-off. And let's see who this is on. It's on Clinton Freeman, an offensive foul away from the ball.
And that is going to be the 3rd personal foul on Clinton Freeman. 6th team foul against Wildwood Catholic.
Veltri for Wildwood. His pass is up and tipped and goes out of bounds. 4:42 to go. Wildwood up 37-35. And, buddy, just to update on George Cook, he is no longer on the bench for Wildwood Catholic, so he must be off getting treatment. So his return looks pretty doubtful right now. Inbound pass nearly stolen by Catholic. Valentin with it. Picked up his dribble, hands it off to Christian. Christian goes around Robertson, top of the key, kicks to Valentin, in the corner to Hills. 17-footer is short, bad shot. Rebound to Osborne, and Wildwood Catholic has it. They can tie or take the lead with a 3.
And what really punctuated that being a bad shot was Hills fell away from the basket, did not follow his shot. He follows his shot there, Brian. He's got a good opportunity the way it bounced back to get the offensive rebound.
Osborne doubled, got it to Norris. Norris along the baseline, kicks out to McWade. McWade, top of the lane, kicks to Robertson. Thought about a deep 3.
Yeah, he
picked
was
up
shot
by
that
Christian.
one from the ocean.
Goes to Moretti. Moretti stops, pass, stolen away by Valentin. Valentin takes it up the right side. Valentin kicks across to Christian. Layup, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds off of Wildwood Catholic. McWade actually grabbed the rebound with his foot on the end line.
And that time, Valentin did a good job coming to a jump stop and getting rid of the ball to Christian. He was just unable to finish.
In the post to Hills, no good on the layup. Long rebound to Robertson. He's running, is bumped and fouled by Madel before the shot, but Jordan Robertson will get 2 shots at the line with 3:43 to go and an opportunity to tie the game.
And actually a good foul there by Anthony Madel, Brian. Madel picks up his 3rd, team's 10th. It's going to send Robertson to the line, but if Robertson could have gotten any type of an angle, that would have been a momentum changer because he would have gotten up and threw that down for a dunk.
Yes. Free throw is good.
So Madel recognizing, doing a good job picking up that foul, making Robertson earn these points.
Whoa, he missed the second, but Tyler Norris, the rebound, missed the layup. McWade, yes! And Wildwood Catholic is back on top.
And that's a backbreaker when you give up an offensive rebound off of a missed free throw.
Christian, center of the floor. Great pass across. The layup is good by Valentin. And Wildwood back up by 1.
Christian doing a good job, dribble penetration. Valentin catching the ball on the right block, using the glass, and he lays it in, giving his team the 1-point lead.
Robertson dribble drive, strip from behind. And that's not a good call there, buddy. Mike Veltri threw an outlet pass. No one went to get the ball. He continued to dribble. That is not a double dribble. You could start a dribble by throwing the ball. But they call the violation on Wildwood, and here's Kaplik in the backcourt.
3:05 to go in the game. Wildwood up 1, 39-38.
Robertson kicks to Norris. Norris holding, looking in the post, can't get it there. Kicks across to Robertson. Robertson backs away, leans in, goes to Norris. Norris holding, foul line area, and we're going to have a foul down low. This is a good call by the official. Wes Hills just took Eddie McWade and threw him to the ground, and McWade's going to go to the line for 2 shots here.
And that is going to be the 4th personal foul on number 31, the senior Wesley Hills, Brian. He picks up his 4th. And as we said, the team Wildwood has been at the 10-foul limit. McWade will go to the line shooting 2 with his team down a point. 2:48 to go in the game, 39-38. Make that 39-39. McWade buries the first free throw. He will get one more.
Wildwood wants a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. 2:48 to go in the 4th quarter. It's 39-39. And going back to that last play with Mike Veltri, buddy, he threw a pass. No one went to get it, and he went and just got it and started dribbling. Now, the official may have thought he saw something else. At least that's what I saw from here. He may have saw a dribble, then a pass, and then obviously that would create the violation there.
And to reset things here, Brian, with 2:48 to go in the game, 39-39. McWade will go back to the line after this timeout to shoot 1. Each team has 2 timeouts left. Wildwood has committed 10 team fouls. Wildwood Catholic's in the 2-shot bonus. The Crusaders have committed 16 fouls. So from this point forward, the Warriors will go to the line and shoot 1-and-1s. So we have a game that is going to come down to who takes the best care of the basketball and who is able to make free throws. And obviously, this has turned into a real good high school basketball game. Winning that 3rd quarter, it looked like Wildwood Catholic was going to blow the Warriors out, and Wildwood High had other notions. They said, hey, we're coming back. There is no quit in us. And the Warriors closed that 3rd quarter on that 19-4 run to take that 1-point lead to start the 4th period.
All right, McWade at the line for 1 shot. He can give Wildwood Catholic the lead, 2:48 to go. Free throw is up. That's going to be long. The rebound to Hills.
Foul shooting has been the Achilles heel for the Crusaders here in the second half.
Goes back to Christian. Tied at 39. 2:35 to go in the game. Christian goes to Hills. Hills dribble drive, shut off, spins, lost the handle, kicked it out, and it goes out of bounds. Buddy,
Yes.
you were open.
I would have shot it. 2:27 to go.
Here's Robertson for Catholic. 2:20 to go. Picked up by Christian. Robertson again with it. Puts it on the floor. Gets around a man, into the post. Rattled it home.
What a tough shot.
Catholic back up on top.
2 minutes to go. 41-39.
Christian double teamed. Into the paint, kicks out. Madel for 3. In and out. Rebound off of Catholic and out of bounds.
Garrett Moretti could not get his hands on it. He kept it alive, and Keenan Osborne could not come down with it. George Cook is back on the Crusader bench with a bag of ice on his left foot, and his jersey is off, so he will not be coming back into this game.
We're told he has turf toe, buddy. Here's Hills on the baseline into the paint. Great pass down low to Valentin, but he lost it. But they're going to say it went off of McWade's foot and out of bounds. And that was the case there, buddy. I don't think Valentin had his hands ready for that pass. And it hit him in the gut. Wildwood Catholic will take a 30-second timeout, I believe, here. With 1:39 to go.
So tough break for the Crusaders, Brian, with George Cook on the bench now with turf toe. I think they put a call into Bob's Auto Body.
For what reason?
They're looking for a tow truck.
1:39 to go in the game. And it's 41-39, Wildwood Catholic on top. Wildwood will have possession coming out of the timeout.
And right now, Wildwood with the ball, as you said, 1:39 to go. Big offensive possession for the Warriors. And obviously Wildwood Catholic wanting to get a stop. Clinton Freeman on the bench, George Cook on the bench for the Crusaders.
They go block to block. Hills drops it. It goes out of bounds. They're going to say off of Wildwood Catholic. Believe Hills fumbled it, and then perhaps a Wildwood Catholic player tipped it after that.
Well, they're going to say Keenan Osborne got his hand on it. 2 seconds ticked off, 1:37 to go.
Here's Christian. Down low to Hills, layup. Got it, rattled it home. Good look by Christian.
Excellent look by Francis Christian. Help side defense came to him.
Moretti gets it up to Robertson. Tied at 41, 1:20 to go. Robertson for Catholic. Pass, tipped, nearly stolen. McWade has it, and he's going to go backcourt. Wildwood Catholic wanted a foul. One wasn't coming, and Wildwood's going to have it.
1:16 to go. 41-41. And again, Wildwood's pressure bothering Wildwood Catholic without their guards.
Christian with it against Robertson. Spins. Backs away. By the way, Francis Christian came into this game needing 17 points for 1,000 for his career. He's got 12 for the game. But he has been wonderful here in the second half with his floor game. Here's Jones. It's going to be a 5-second violation. He barely got rid of it in time. And now Wildwood wants a timeout with 48 seconds to play in the game, and we're tied at 41. And this will be a 30-second timeout, I believe. No, it's a full, but we're going to keep it here with 48 seconds to go. 41-41 game. And we'll see what Wildwood runs out of this timeout.
Well, one thing we know, they're going to want to have that ball in Francis Christian's hands. And as you said, you know, you got to give the senior a ton of credit. He came into this game needing 17 for 1,000 points. He had 8 at halftime. He scored 4 here in the second half. But Francis Christian shows he's a team player. This is not about him. This is not about the 1,000-point plateau. He has played a wonderful second half in distributing the basketball.
Yeah, he's got 7 rebounds and 6 assists. He shot only 4 for 17 from the floor. But he's got 12 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
He's done a good job in dribble penetration. When that help defense comes to him, he finds a teammate for an easy basket.
And now here he is with the ball. 45 seconds to go. Robertson giving him some space. I don't know if Wildwood Catholic is going to allow Wildwood to run it all the way down. Let's see. Christian takes it to the wing, bounces it to Hills. Kind of a lazy pass, but it got to Hills. Hills down the lane. Wild shot, no good. Rebound, and here comes Catholic up ahead of the pack, and they throw it too high for Robertson. Tyler Norris's pass just a little too high. Robertson would have had a wide open layup.
20 seconds to go.
Wow.
41-41.
They get it to Christian. Christian, center of the floor, stops, foul line jumper. Hills the offensive rebound as it was an air ball. Back to Valentin. Timeout Wildwood. That's a good timeout right there. With 12 seconds to go in the game. And Wildwood will inbound on the side. We're going to take a quick break. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and CapeMadeCountySports.com. Only one. Who? Who?
March 8th through 10th, the annual Mid-Atlantic National Cheer and Dance Championship. Competition includes recreation, high school, and all-star divisions. For more information, call 866-52-CHEER.
All right, back at the Convention Center, Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbotten, 41-41 tie. 12 seconds to go in the game. Wildwood has possession. Wildwood is now out of timeouts. And you would hope that the coaching staff alerted their team to that they must get this ball inbounds.
Wildwood Catholic has one timeout. As you can hear,
Jones the inbound.
crowd.
Throws it in the backcourt to Christian. Here we go. 10 seconds to go. We're going to go a high ball screen here. Christian, 4 seconds, stops. Jones for three. Off the iron, no. Valentin at the buzzer, in and out. And we will go to overtime. That last shot by Valentin would have counted.
Wow.
We will go to overtime.
What a finish.
Bonus basketball at the Convention Center. Let's take a break. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and CapeMayCountySports.com. And we head to overtime, 41-41. Wildwood has outscored Wildwood Catholic 25-11 since the early point of the third quarter.
And, right now, as you just said, Brian, Wildwood, Francis Christian, obviously not the one to get the shot, but you can't argue with the quality of the shots that one Jones took and the one that Valentin was able.
Give Wildwood Catholic credit. Crusaders win the tip. McWade to the basket, no good. Rebound by Moretti, and they're going to say jump ball possession to Wildwood as he had it blocked.
And Coach Duis not happy with that call, but there the Crusader needs to release the ball and at least attempt a shot, and you might get a foul.
Jones up the court against Norris. Takes it to the wing, goes to Hills. Hills hands off to Christian. Christian is bumped and fouled. And Francis Christian will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1.
And they're going to call that foul on number 25. Jordan Robertson, that's his third.
Of all
team seventh.
Buddy, everything that's happened in this second half, since halftime really, I don't think Wildwood's been to the line in the second half. This is their first trip. And I believe Eddie McWade is being sent to the bench because he has blood either on his uniform or on his person.
Yeah, it looks like he might have a cut on his left leg. The trainer is attending to that. They want to get him back on the floor, obviously, as quick as possible.
Christian at the line for a 1-and-1. He is 2 for 2 from the line. Wildwood's 5 for 8 as a team. Free throw, wow. Used every part of the rim. That's the good rotation that you like to talk about, buddy.
Absolutely. That right there shows if you have the proper spin on your shot, you will get that friendly roll. And as you said, he hit every part of the iron and it went down.
Second free throw hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
And that's what good shooters do.
Wildwood Catholic gets it in quickly. Robertson trapped in the backcourt. Ball's loose. Stolen away by Christian. Spinning. Jump hook. No good. Rebound Robertson. Flips it out to Norris. Norris in the backcourt against Jones. Double teamed. Passes across to Robertson to break the 10-second in the backcourt count. Now it's Robertson. Wildwood up by 2. 3:15. Approaching 3:15 to go in overtime. Robertson guarded by Jones. Moretti swung to Osborne. Osborne to Robertson. Robertson holding. McWade's at the table, so they got that blood cleaned up. He's ready to come back in. Moretti top of the key. Kicks to Norris in the corner. Holding against Christian. Backs it away. Flips it out to Robertson. Inside 2:50 to play in the game. In overtime, I should say. 43-41. Robertson, 17-footer is short. Rebound Freeman. Layup, no good. Osborne's layup, no good. Long rebound to Christian. He's pushing for Wildwood. Christian to the basket. Layup is good.
Good strong move that time. Wildwood had numbers. Christian uses his left hand.
And Francis gives his team a 4-point lead and is 1 point away from 1,000. Norris trapped, and Wildwood Catholic's got to call a timeout, and they need McWade in the game. So that's a secondary reason why they call the timeout. 2:16 to go in overtime. Wildwood leads it by 4 at 45-41. It's a 30-second timeout.
And at one point, this was a 30-16 Wildwood Catholic lead. Since that point, Wildwood has outscored the Crusaders 29-11. So from midway through the third quarter through this overtime, it has been all maroon and white. The Warriors have come out and really turned up the heat since, again, that midway point of the third quarter, and have taken control and all of the momentum in this basketball game away from the Crusaders.
Both teams now with 1 timeout remaining. Possession arrow is in Wildwood Catholic's favor. Wildwood Catholic is in the double bonus should Wildwood foul. Wildwood is in the regular bonus. Catholic has 17 fouls in the second half.
And again, this is going to be a big offensive possession for the Crusaders. They inbound the ball at half court right in front of our broadcast area.
They get it into Robertson. 2:15 to go. Catholic needs a basket here. Here's McWade. Goes to Moretti. Top of the key. Goes to Osborne on the right side. Looking. Goes to Tyler Norris. Norris holds against Madel. Goes right side to Osborne. Inside 2 minutes now. Osborne dribbles. Goes to Robertson. In front of the Crusader bench. Robertson, head and shoulders fake. Spinning, got it to Moretti, in the corner to Norris. Norris out to Robertson, thought about a 3. High post to McWade. McWade working on Valentin. Is double teamed. Spins away from it, gets to the rim,
Wow.
The layup is good. What a move.
What a move. He took it to 3 different Warriors.
Christian is called for traveling here. Wildwood Catholic can tie it or take the lead with a 3 with 1:35 to go.
And McWade, just an incredible power drive from the left side, gets to the rim.
Norris got it into McWade. Powers up, layup, no good. Follows it up and in.
And that was all brute strength by Eddie McWade.
Valentin for Wildwood. Up across the timeline. Where's he going? Got it to Madel. Layup is no good. Rebound to Moretti. Moretti in the backcourt, flips it over to Robertson. We're tied at 45 with 1:13 to go in overtime. Robertson drives, goes to Osborne, out to Norris. Norris to McWade. Exactly 1 minute to go.
Each team with 1 timeout left. Coming up on 50 seconds in the overtime. Tied at
Osborne
45.
goes to McWade. McWade working, dribbles, stops at the left elbow, backs away. To Robertson. Robertson spinning, stops at the right elbow, back out to Norris. 34 seconds to go in a tie game in overtime. 30 seconds. McWade backs away, goes to Robertson. Timeout Wildwood Catholic. 25 seconds to go. We're going to keep it here. 45-45 tie. We're in overtime.
It is a
Full
full timeout.
Buddy, what do you your thoughts on what Wildwood Catholic might do here on this last possession?
Well, I think, Brian, if I'm the Wildwood Catholic coaching staff, I'm going to try and get the ball on the left side of the floor with Robertson out on the wing, McWade coming from the right side to the left side, block to block, trying to set up a 2-man game between Robertson and McWade to see what the two can create. The 2 juniors, the most talented offensive players on the floor right now for the Crusaders. Tyler Norris has got to start thinking he's a pretty good shooter. He has not taken a shot. He's got to make himself an offensive threat. Garrett Moretti can put the ball up from the outside as well. These guys have got to be, if Robertson or McWade are doubled and are forced to give up the ball, it's going to have to be one of these role players for Wildwood Catholic that's going to have to step up and take that big shot. And again, that being said, I'm looking maybe for the two-man game on one side of the floor between the two juniors, Robertson and McWade, to see what they can create.
They have an inbound play here. They're going to try to free Robertson in the corner and then post McWade. Let's see if they get it. They get it to Robertson, looking in. Wildwood does a good job of converging, and they have to kick it out. Here's Robertson in front of the Crusader bench. 18 seconds to go. Robertson holding against Christian. Christian nearly stripped it. Robertson holds. Ball on the floor. 10 seconds to go. Robertson going to try to break down Christian. Crossover dribble. Stops. Fall away jumper. Short. Tipped up, no good. And we're going to go to a second overtime. Keenan Osborne had an opportunity. Couldn't get it to go down. We will go to another overtime.
Well, again, at the end of regulation, Wildwood got two good looks, two good shots. They wouldn't go down. At the end of this overtime, Jordan Robertson did a good job on the right side. Nice spin move to the basket. He couldn't get his shot to go down. The ball came right to Keenan Osborne on the right side of the basket, and you could see he really rushed that, not realizing that he actually had plenty of time to gather himself and go up strong and use the glass. Instead, he tried to push the ball up. Therefore, it hit the bottom of the rim, and he didn't have an opportunity.
One thing as we get set to go into this second overtime, Wes Hills and Mark Jones for Wildwood both have 4 fouls. Wildwood Catholic has no one with 4 fouls. Robertson and Freeman and McWade all have 3.
And that will obviously be a factor the longer the game goes as we move into the second overtime. As you said, now we've already played 36 minutes, so this game will now go to the 40-minute duration. And depth is going to be, with Wildwood Catholic not having George Cook, who is really hobbling now with his jersey off and his left sneaker off and ice on his foot. Kevin McWade at home with the flu. 2 big
Ball
holes.
in the air to start the second overtime. And Wildwood has it. Christian tried to lob it ahead. It's loose on the floor. Still loose. Jones picks up the loose ball. He's stripped, and now Christian finally has it for Wildwood. Splits a double team. Spins into the lane. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Francis Christian.
And that was a great job by Eddie McWade. Christian picks up just his second, a non-shooting foul. McWade stepping up in help side defense, taking that charge.
Robertson, cross midcourt, stops at the right elbow, kicks to Norris. Out to Robertson. Over to Norris. Norris looking in the post. Can't get it there. Passes across to Moretti. Now it's McWade, top of the key against Ramagosa. McWade, doubled, goes to Moretti in the corner. Moretti's giving Wildwood Catholic good minutes tonight, buddy.
Yeah, he has done a good job coming off the bench.
Osborne on the wing, goes to McWade in the corner. Doubled, and we're going to have a jump ball. And tempers flare. And on the alternating possession, Wildwood Catholic's going to have it.
And right down there at the end of the Wildwood Catholic bench, well, if it's a jump ball, it's going to be Wildwood Catholic's ball.
Right.
I don't know where everybody's going. They're going down to the wrong end of the floor.
And basically, where the whole thing started, buddy, was that the official came in and called a jump ball, and neither Ramagosa nor McWade would give ground, and neither played the whistle. They were still trying to wrestle the ball away from one another, and they both ended up on the floor. They get it into Moretti. Moretti for 3. Bang!
And that's what I was just talking about. Moretti and Norris have got to become offensive threats here in the overtimes.
Christian across midcourt, double teamed, bounces it to Jones.
Oh.
Jones holding on the wing, steps in, goes to Hills, off his hands and out of bounds.
And Jones might have gotten away with a double dribble. And again, not good spacing. Jones that time might have gotten away with the double dribble. They did pick it up then, and he was too close to Wesley Hills to throw a line drive type pass. Hills with very good football hands, unable to control that pass.
McWade doubled, got it to Norris. Norris stripped by Christian. Christian to the basket, the layup is good. 1 point game, Catholic still on top, 2:25 to go.
Big turnover right there.
Overtime.
Great play by Francis Christian.
Robertson doubled and fouled. That'll go against Madel.
And that is going to be the 4th personal foul on Anthony Madel. So that'll be his 4th. Team over the limit. Jordan Robertson at the line shooting 2.
First one's no good. Wildwood Catholic still leads it by 1 at 48-47.
First one was long, clanged off the back of the rim. 2:18 to go.
Second one is also no good.
And again, that was long.
Here's Christian. Top of the lane. Shot is blocked, but a foul. Foul on Keenan Osborne. That'll send Christian to the line, and Francis Christian can actually get his 1,000th point here and tie the game.
And that foul on Keenan Osborne, the senior, number 33, picks up his 2nd, team's 8th. And as you said, Francis Christian goes to the line to shoot 2.
First one's good. And this game's so tight that they're not even going to stop it for his 1,000th career point.
Yeah, normally, but in an overtime game, it is understandable.
Second free throw's in and out, so we're now tied at 48. 2:10 to go in the second overtime. McWade driving, stripped, got the ball again and is fouled.
And Eddie McWade, Brian, to say that he goes to the basket strong would be an understatement.
He's got 11 points and 8 rebounds in this game.
2:02 to go, 48-48. Big free throws coming up here for the 6'4" junior.
Free throws no good. Wildwood Catholic just 7 for 15 from the line in the game.
And they've missed numerous front ends of 1-and-1s.
Second free throw is good. That gives Wildwood Catholic a 1-point lead as we're now inside 2 minutes to go in the second overtime. 49-48. Wildwood Catholic on top. Ramagosa on the wing. Goes to Madel. Madel over to Christian on the right side. Christian holds. Puts the ball on the floor, backs away. Calls a play. Robertson comes up and guards him. He backs away to break the 5-second count. Takes the ball to the right wing, goes to Madel. Dribble handoff with Christian. Christian goes around a man, stops, elbow jumper. Off the rim, no good. Rebound. It's going to be off of Wildwood and out of bounds.
1:20 to go in the second overtime.
Buddy, I haven't seen all of them. I have a hard time believing there's been many Wildwood Catholic games better than this one. Inbound pass stolen by Christian, rejected by McWade. Catholic up ahead with it. Pass across, and it's tipped out of bounds by Wildwood. Wow.
And then, Brian, I would have to agree with you. This is absolutely one of the classics in this great rivalry.
Norris to Robertson for 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound is loose. Christian comes away with it for Wildwood.
Oh,
and he carried
yes.
it. He had a high dribble and carried it.
And that's a tough break.
I think he caught a bad bounce on the court and he carried it.
And that's a portable floor bounce.
Jones checks back in for Madel.
Think these guys are feeling a little gassed?
Robertson with it in the backcourt. Catholic up by 1. 1 minute to go in the second overtime. Wildwood showing a run and jump here. Robertson swings it across to Norris. High post to McWade. McWade bowling into the lane, and they're going to have a foul on Jones, and that's going to be his 5th.
Mark Jones, as you said, he will pick up his 5th. He has reached the limit. He will have to come out of this basketball game.
Actually, buddy, I didn't catch who they called it on, but they did not call it on Jones.
Yeah, obviously, because Jones is still in the game. McWade at the line shooting 2. 51.9 seconds to play.
Free throw is good.
In the second overtime. 50-48. Wildwood Catholic on top.
Second free throw is good. So Catholic now with a 3-point lead. 51 seconds to go. Christian goes to Jones. Jones holding. Norris nearly took it out of his hands. Jones is bumped and fouled. And that's going to send him to the line for a 1-and-1. That's not a good foul there. 25 feet from the basket.
And Tyler Norris, the sophomore, picks up his 2nd. Team's 9th.
Jones, though, is 0 for 2 from the line in the game. 44 seconds to go. Catholic leads by 3.
A big 1-and-1.
No good. Rebound by Moretti. Moretti dribbles away from pressure, got it to McWade. Wildwood needs the foul. Now Wildwood Catholic calls timeout as McWade is trapped.
And that will be Wildwood Catholic's last timeout, Brian.
51-48, 36 seconds to go in the second overtime. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and Cape May County's Buddy Tarbonne. An absolute classic between Wildwood and Wildwood Catholic in the Andrew Alamino Boys Island Championship game. We are in double overtime. Wildwood Catholic leads at 51-48 with 36.6 seconds to go. Wildwood Catholic has the ball.
And as you said earlier, Brian, it really does not get much better than this. A classic matchup in this long-time rivalry.
Well, Catholic's got Robertson wide open for a layup. No one's back for Wildwood, and he will stuff it with 2 hands.
Wow, how does that happen?
Christian stops, fires a 3. That's short. Rebound Moretti. That's a foul. And Wildwood Catholic looks like they're going to win this one.
How does that happen? The best offensive player on the floor for Wildwood Catholic, Jordan Robertson, is able to leak behind the defense on an inbounds play, unguarded, wide open. Wildwood Catholic recognizes, they get it to Robertson. He goes up for the 2-handed flush.
Free throw by Moretti is good. And this one here is the real big one with 23 seconds to go. He makes this one. It's a 3-possession game.
Absolutely.
And that one's good.
Nothing but the bottom of the net for Garrett Moretti. And Brian, 5 big overtime points for Moretti.
Christian to the basket. Blocking foul called on Tyler Norris.
Not a good foul. Tyler Norris, just a sophomore, he had a good idea, but he did not move his feet and get himself in proper position. The last thing Wildwood Catholic wants to do is stop the clock and send Wildwood to the line to be able to score with no time coming off the clock. 55-48. Francis Christian at the line, shooting 2.
Free throw is good.
Nothing but the bottom of the net.
He's got 20 points.
For the talented senior who has played an outstanding game here tonight. His floor game has been unbelievable, showing what an unselfish basketball player this kid has turned into.
Second free throw's no good. McWade the rebound. 17 seconds to go, and he's finally fouled by Hills.
And again, we're going to walk the length of the floor.
One thing we didn't mention, buddy, but what a crowd here tonight. Starting to file out now as this one looks like it's decided, but tremendous crowd.
Yeah, it was a very good crowd considering, it's a Saturday night, couple of days, obviously December 22nd. But people like to come out for this game. And I'll tell you what, these kids did not disappoint anyone that came here, anyone that listened, or anyone that watched
McWade
on
made both.
CapeMayCounty.com.
Catholic leads it by 8. Here's Christian to the basket. Layup is good. 8 seconds to go. Catholic and now they are finally going to make an announcement that Francis Christian has scored his 1,000th career point. Wildwood's going to call a timeout to be able to get him recognized. And he's doing it in a losing effort.
And again, Brian, you just can't emphasize the type of game that Francis Christian had here tonight. He played
didn't shoot it well, but he did everything else.
He played an incredible floor game. I mean, when the game in that second half, when Wildwood made their run, he wasn't putting the ball in the basket, but he was giving it up. He was finding the open player when he was being double teamed, and that is really what helped get his team back into this basketball game.
And Francis actually just ran into the stands to hug his family.
And he's getting a well-deserved serenade from the Warrior student body.
Catholic to inbound, it's all academic now, 57-51. And, from Wildwood Catholic standpoint, buddy, this is a character win. With all these kids hurt, I don't know why McWade is throwing the ball the length of the floor. And now Wildwood will inbound.
With 2 timeouts left. And they're going to inbound underneath their basket, more importantly. So, Brian, they get inbound quickly, get knocked down a 3 ball, call a timeout.
Stranger things have happened.
Absolutely.
Christian fires a 3, off the iron, no good, so the storybook ending won't happen. Hills misses a jumper at the buzzer. There's your final, 57-51. Wildwood Catholic wins it in double overtime. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap it up right after this on 98.7 The Coast and CapeMayCountySports.com. Back at the Convention Center, Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbot, and 57-51. Wildwood Catholic beats Wildwood in a classic Andrew Alamino Memorial Boys Island Championship game in double overtime. And we're joined now by Coach Dave Duis. And Dave, you were obviously a part of some of these as a player. You've been a part of a lot of them as a coach. And it's always easy to say because it's the one right in front of you, but has there been a better game?
I don't know if there has been. That was a very exciting game tonight. Both teams played so hard, and we were fortunate to survive. I call tonight survival.
Buddy and I talked at the end when it was wrapped up finally. This had to be a big character win for you. No Kevin McWade, he's homesick. George turns his ankle. I know Clinton Freeman's battling some sickness. You got some kids playing out of position. You basically play both overtimes and most of the fourth quarter with no point guard, and you find a way to win.
I know. I think there's kids that really stepped up. I thought Garrett Moretti really stepped up. I thought Tyler Norris really stepped up, and I thought Keenan Osborne really stepped up. I think in the fourth quarter and the 2 overtimes, we probably played 6 guys and mostly played 5 guys the whole time. The kids worked really hard, and they were able to hang around. We didn't have. You're right. We didn't have a point guard on the floor, and we called on Eddie and Jordan to take those responsibilities, and they did a pretty good job.
Let's dial it back down a little bit to that third quarter. Midway through, your team, you're up 30-16, and the next thing you know, the wheels start coming off the bus, and Wildwood goes on a 19-4 run. What did you say between the third and the fourth quarter to your guys to like settle them down? And I mean, you went from up 30-16 down 35-34.
We knew at halftime. I told them that was going to happen. We knew they're a team of runs. We knew they were going to make at least one, maybe two runs. So we were ready for it. I think we told them we just didn't want them to panic. You know, they're going to make their runs, and you just can't panic. You just got to try and get back to what we do. And we knew tonight was going to be a game of tempo. Whose tempo was going to win over? We wanted to slow the tempo down. They wanted to speed it up. I think we won that tempo game, except for the third quarter, obviously. They were able to create some easy buckets off of turnovers. But, you know, overall, their pressure is very good, very, very good. You know, we played a very good team in Rancocas Valley who pressed us the whole game, and I don't think their pressure was as good as Wildwood's. Wildwood does an excellent job in the full court of creating opportunities for themselves to get easy buckets.
Dave, you know, sometimes I think when Wildwood's in that Tri-County Conference and people around here sometimes forget about them a little bit because they're not playing the local teams as much. But, you know, what would you say about the kind of player that Francis Christian is? I mean, obviously he didn't shoot it well tonight, but, you know, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 22 points, gets his 1,000th tonight. I mean, you know, he almost willed Wildwood to the win, really.
He did, and, you know, to tell you what we think of him, our game plan tonight was to put 2 people on him every opportunity we got. I mean, we know he's a great player. He's matured. He's really matured over the last couple years. I think he's playing very much under control. He shares the ball well, and he can score just from about anywhere on the floor. He's an outstanding young man and an outstanding player.
I'm sorry, but one more. I just wanted to ask about Eddie McWade. He goes out for a couple minutes with the cut, gets cleaned up, and then it was like he went back in and decided it's time for me to take the game over.
I asked him I don't know if it was the end of the fourth quarter or the start of the second overtime that it was his time. It was time for him to take the game over. And I think he made that decision at some point in the overtimes to really take the game over, and he did one heck of a job.
Yeah, and again, not to, but Eddie McWade. You're talking about McWade, and just how strong he is, and his presence, where he knows when he goes into those spin moves, how he's able to snake through bodies and then just go up so strong to the rim and finish.
He's very patient when he gets the ball. He's able to read the defense and then take advantage of what he sees. I thought early in the game tonight he was rushing it a little bit, and I think he was moving a little too fast, and he wasn't getting the usual buckets that we're used to from him. But I think later in the game he started to slow it down a little bit, and he was very, very effective in those overtimes.
You know, you talked about the role players obviously having to step up. You know, Kevin McWade is at home, not able to be here because of the flu. Then George Cook gets that injury. And Brian and I, as we're calling the game there towards the end of the fourth quarter and into the overtime, I had said Garrett, Moretti, Tyler Norris, one of them has to step up and be an offensive threat. And sure enough, Garrett Moretti hits the big 3, hits the big free throws. That was, I mean, he picked the right time.
That was a huge 3. I mean, he's a very good shooter. He's one
Yes.
of our best 3-point shooters. And he stepped in tonight in a place where he's never been before. I mean, his varsity experience has been very limited, and he stepped in tonight and just did an outstanding job. And that shot was huge.
All right, Wildwood Catholic wins it 57-51. Their coach, Dave Duis, joining us here. They win it in double overtime, and thanks for coming on. And I know, you know, everybody can always put high school basketball aside, but this is, I know, going to help you have a much merrier Christmas.
It certainly will. Just ask my wife.
All right, here's the final point totals for. Thanks for coming on. Here's the final point totals. First for Wildwood, Francis Christian had 22. Dave Flanders had 8. Wes Hills with 7, 6 with Jose Valance, 4 Jose Valance, and 5 for Anthony Madel, and 3 points for Mike Veltri. Wildwood Catholic ends up putting 4 players in double figures. Eddie McWade had 16, George Cook with 14, and 10 each for Garrett Moretti and Jordan Robertson, 5 for Clinton Freeman, and 2 for Keenan Osborne. And again, Catholic wins it 57-51. And real quickly, we know it's tough for him to do because it's in a loss, but we did want to bring Francis Christian on. He did score his 1,000th point tonight, and congratulations on that. But I know the sting of this hurts, but I would imagine at some point down the line you're going to figure out you just played in a great basketball game. I mean, what'd you think of just the game tonight?
It was awesome. I mean, it went in 6 overtimes. Two overtimes. My fault.
6 periods.
6 periods.
Right.
I mean, anybody could have won at any point, and we just had to play defense. We took up a lot of bad shots, but I mean, they played harder than us, so they came out on top.
You had that big run in the third quarter to get back in the game, and I guess now looking back, had you not fallen behind by so much in the first half, maybe the game is yours to win.
Yeah.
What did you think of the looks you guys got at the end of regulation? You got double teamed, passed it off. You ended up getting 2 good shots. They just didn't go in.
Yeah, I mean, I worked hard for getting open. I mean, they were face guarding me the whole game. George was on me. He got hurt, and then Jordan came back on me. I mean, if we just knocked down a shot as a team, we probably would have won. But, I mean, I can't make every shot. I'm only human.
Well, some might argue that in some aspects, but congratulations on the 1,000th point. I mean, I know that's something that you were looking forward to before the year because you knew you were close.
Yeah, at least I got it against them in the loss, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
One of the things I think that was very important is, as like Brian and I have been fortunate enough to watch you develop, through grade school and then obviously here through 4 years of high school basketball. And Francis, one of the things tonight, in that second half when your team was coming back, and Wildwood Catholic, obviously every opportunity they're going to double team you. You're the guy they're going to try and keep from getting to the rim. And you showed a tremendous amount of growth and maturity tonight by dispersing the basketball, by finding teammates, and they finished. And that's therefore you were able to make that nice comeback and send this game into 2 overtimes, and that's a tremendous credit to you. First off, becoming a quality young man, and the fact that you've really grown in your game and your ability to see the entire floor. And how satisfying is that, too? I mean, obviously, you're a scorer, but when you do go into the lane and you find a teammate and you dish and they score.
As long as they finish, it's fine with me. As long as they finish.
I like that. That's a good answer.
All right, Francis, thanks for coming on, and congratulations. I know it was in a loss, but latest career 1,000 point scorer at Wildwood. It's certainly an accomplishment that no one takes lightly around here. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. So thanks to everyone for joining us. 57-51, Wildwood Catholic beats Wildwood in double overtime. For Matt Omer on video, for all of our great sponsors over at the Coast, and for my partner, Buddy Tarbot, and I'm Brian Kniff. Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas, everyone. Catholic wins it in 2 overtimes, 57-51 over Wildwood. This has been high school basketball on 98.7 The Coast and CapeMay CapeMayCountySports.com.